everyone, I'm K Jelly, and I just want to say a huge thank you for all the support on my most recent video. And hello new subscribers! So for today's video, I'm going to be taking a trip down memory lane because I'm going to be redrawing some of the very first digital art I made when I first started drawing on the tablet. And that was 13 years ago. I used to have this little tradition where the very first drawing I did, I would plan to redraw it every year after that to see my improvement. However, I only did it 3 years, so that didn't really last long. But I thought I would love to see my improvement from the last time I did it, which was like 9 years ago now. And I'm also going to be choosing a second character to draw, but I haven't decided what it will be yet. So I'm going to go through my old art with you and we'll choose from there. And if you do see any characters you like, let me know and I might bring them back in another video. So let's go see what I'm going to draw. I'm excited for this. Also, yes, I did cut my hair. I prefer it shorter. Anyways, let's bring in my laptop with its scratched up case. Okay, I need to go through my folders of old art books. Here is the first ever artwork that I did. And it's meant to be a red panda, but a very ugly looking one. Here is the second one I did. It's not much better. I tried going for like some type of chibi thing, but it's a very poor attempt at chibi, I will admit. And I drew a third one. I found it. This one is my favorite one. Well, obviously because it's the most recent. And by recent, I mean I drew it in like 2016. Okay, now it is time to go through other artworks and see what other character I will draw after my first artwork. I have quite a few. I still like these ones. This one I always loved, so this one holds very dear to me. Dear. Oh my gosh, look at the eyes on this one. It's a little scary. Then I started to get into more detailed types of drawings. Like we've got a whole scenery, another whole scenery featuring Biscuit. I always loved this one as well. Going through all these is just making me miss like all my old art. This one's actually kind of cool. Maybe I could draw this one. I'm gonna make a quick little folder and put all the select few in it. Oh wow, I forgot about this one. This was like a whole collage of all the characters I had. Sneak peek of Maybell, more Biscuit, more Biscuit. Oh my gosh, these ones are so ugly. This was meant to be like a cute little animation. Oh, what's this? There's a secret fourth drawing. Oh, this is when I turned Autumn into a fox. Oh, little Autumn with his acorns. So cute. Oh, this one was one of my favorites for a while. I didn't draw the water though. Oh, I redrew the little Christmas one. That's cute. Is that the same red panda? How many times did I draw this red panda? The nose is so narrow. I like the colors. I liked this one for a long time too, like the angle. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's still cool. I always loved this one for so long. I entered it into a competition and I didn't win. I think at that time digital art was also a really new concept. Oh, this is kind of like similar to the contest art I did. I named it K Fox. This one's really pretty. I'll add them both. Oh, I loved this one for so long as well. Daisy. I forgot about Mushroom. Mushroom's pretty cute. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna be redrawing this today because it's gonna take me like 14 hours for an artwork like this. This is when I really started taking my line artwork very seriously. I don't even know how I jumped in art skill. I just unlocked that part of my brain. I remember always being impressed when I was younger that I drew this one. I loved this artwork so much. Oh, I actually gave it a name. Petals, Pearls, and Tears. And the character is called Renus. Okay, so these are the finalists of who I'm going to draw. I think it's between K Fox, don't know what that name is, and Daisy. Honorable mentions. Oh, but Autumn. I've changed my mind. It's between K Fox and Autumn. You're too close to the red panda I'm drawing. Okay, I think I'm gonna draw K Fox. And I'm also gonna tweak some things on it to make it, you know, more updated. So let's finally get to drawing. Also, here's a little timeline of all the artworks leading up to the most recent one. And I think the idea that I was going for in that piece was that there would be water on the ceiling, so the red panda's kind of looking up at like an inverted lake type of thing. However, I am not going to be doing that in this piece. I'm going to be going for something a bit more realistic because I've had a certain idea in my mind for like a few weeks now, and I really wanted to test it out and kind of push the boundaries of what I'm not really used to drawing. So I thought that this piece would be a really good way of practicing, doing a more perspective background type of thing. So for that perspective, I decided that the red panda would be looking into the water, and in the water are two adorable little sea otters swimming around him, and the red panda is super excited to see them because he's never seen otters before and he's so excited to meet some new friends, and he's also intrigued with how fluffy they are. To give the piece more depth, I'm also going to be adding highlights around the characters, like from the sun casting shadows into the water, so that will also help with the perspective. And then for the motion aspect, I'm going to be adding moving bubbles to show the displacement of the water as they swim, and I'm also going to be trying to make the water look as though it's pushed around on the surface of the water. My favorite part was drawing the casted shadow. I don't know what it is about them, but I just love the depth that it gives a character. Ooh, this is my favorite part, the shine. I felt like it really brought the piece to life, and surprisingly, it felt complete without me even having to render the whole piece yet. After adding the sun, I then added details of the water, and I'm not very good at drawing water. I never have been, and yet somehow I always find a way to incorporate it in my artworks. I don't know why, I just have an obsession with water, and yet I still struggle to draw it. So it was slightly painful, but I'm happy with how it turned out for my skill level of water. And onto the rendering and shading of the panda. I'm keeping it very simple with the shading because there's a lot of parts to this artwork and I don't want the focus to just solely be on the red panda. I want it to be the whole piece. So I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about like all the tiny little details of the shading and the highlights. Also, this red panda needs a name, so if you have any name suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments because I don't know what to name him. And I feel like it'd be really fun to name my first ever little character drawing together. I do wish I kept this tradition more consistently because I did enjoy doing it at the time, and then life just got in the way and studies, I guess it just dropped in priority. I don't know, I've never been one of those people that do a lot of practice drawings consistently all the time. Before I started doing YouTube, I would always draw like 4 months to even sometimes a year between artworks. So I'm glad I have this creative outlet now where I can like express my art more consistently. I also forgot to add the red stripes to his tail, but I did manage to remember that before I finished the artwork. With the otters, since they aren't the main focus, I kept their details very soft. I used a lot of blending and blurring. Since they're in the foreground, it makes sense that they'd be more blurred since they're closer to the camera. Oh, I just love the little otter in the background holding the shell. And here's the before and after of the red panda. I really like the shading on the new one. And now onto K Fox. I chose the name Arla for the character instead because I needed a file to save it, and I am not saving this as K Fox. She is getting a new identity. Because why? Why did I call it K Fox? I don't understand. What was I thinking at the time? Anyways, as you can see, I've changed a lot of the features on Arla. I simplified it so it fits into my current style. And if I ever want to turn her into like sculptures or plushies or anything like that, that's also a lot easier to transfer the design over. But I kept the best part of her features like the bush leaves, the pink flowers, and the feathered wings and tails. I wasn't too sure how I felt about the character going into this because I kept cringing the whole time, partly because of the name and also the type of style I used to draw in is very different to what I do now. But I was quite relieved when I was able to get the best of both both worlds from my old art and my new art. I also ended up changing the eye colors because I felt like the amber was a bit too harsh with the soft nature colors. So I made it brown, which I feel like matches more. Also, when I was editing this, I am realizing that my hands keep getting in the way of my shots of the drawing. So in the future, I'm going to adjust my camera. I'm sorry. And as you can see with this part, I'm adding the patterns on the fur now. I always leave those tiny little details of fur patterns till the end, because if you try painting them all at once, it can get very muddled and messy. So what you do is you take the colors you want, put that on a new layer, and then linear burn that, and then the shadows come through from the bottom layer. Then I just added a simple background and an outline. And here's the before and after of Arla. It turned out way better than I thought it would. Now that they're both finished, they are now going to be stuck onto my art wall. Let me know if you prefer the old version or the new one. I have a feeling that most of you will like the old one, but the new one matches my brand more, and I love how all my pieces today are cohesive and match with my personality more. And here they are hung up and at home now. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!